Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about should the NWSL Soccer have a All-Star game. I think that the NWSL, it would be a great idea for them to come out with an All-Star game and have an opportunity to play in the All-Star game, to play during the middle of the season where you can hang out with the NWSL soccer players that you don't get to hang out with throughout the game. And it'd be like a little fun little weekend in the middle of the season where it doesn't count for each team's record. It's just a fun game. You can either do it at the beginning of the season, but I would typically say I would probably do it in the middle of the season, where right before the playoffs start, because that'll give them a chance to kind of relax, be fun, have a fun time before the real work of trying to win the NWSL Cup starts. Where you can play against players in the US national team, the women's national team. You can play against them. You can play against other NWSL players that you grew up watching or never got the opportunity to play with. This would be your opportunity. I think that obviously fun things to do during this way would be obviously having different challenges during the All-Star game. So having a PK shooting, having a passing challenge. Obviously it's important to have the game itself against the East and the West side. So obviously having players from Sky Blue, North Carolina Courage, Orlando Pride, Washington, all on one team, and then having on the West your Chicago, your Houston Dash, your San Diego Waves, having them on another side. And I think that obviously having different challenges such as the PK shooting, the passing, but also the most important is having the actual East versus West game to determine who is the better conference side and division side in the NWSL. And I think having where fans can get to pick the players who get to represent the East and the West will be pretty cool and obviously very special, because you can have where fans can pick different players, because as we know, a lot of times players like Alex Morgan is always playing in the All-Star game because she's a very popular player. But a lot of times you want to give that other opportunity to different players, such as fans can get to choose against having players like Bethany Balcer from OL region, Rachel Daly from Houston Dash, Rachel Hill from Chicago Stars. Obviously you'll get to pick against Alex Morgan from the San Diego Waves, Leah Pruit from Orlando Pride, Kealie Watt from Chicago Star, Carson Pickett, Kaliegh Kurtz, Casey Murphy and Deb from North Carolina Courage, Ashley Hill from Gotham FC, Gina Lewandowski, Allie Long, and Kristie Mewis from Gotham FC. You can get to pick against those players, and obviously if you read in the thing about the All-Star game, you can only have up to 4 players per NWSL team representing you, and at least 1 player from each team representing you. And a total of 18 players are allowed to play, with 2 goalies and 16 field players. So you can have where you can change in or out the players. So let's say your college draft picks that you've picked, they could play, versus having, let's say, Kaliegh Kurtz play, or or having Gina Lewandowski play, or Leah Pruit play, or Rachel Hill play. You can have your college draft picks play and have that opportunity to play in that game. And I think that it will be a fun way to just relax and have fun right before the playoffs start. And what better way to have an all-star game and have it broadcast on TV and getting to see those players that a lot of times you don't get to see have that spotlight and stuff. And having different challenges would help, having different plays would help, and having where fans can get to choose the players, because a lot of times when you have all-star games like that, teams choose the players, and not all the time do teams make the right decisions that fans like. And I think that having a fan get to pick, let's say having Carson Pickett and Leah Pruit and Rachel Hill and Rachel Daly, having them get to pick those players to represent their teams will be a pretty awesome way. Thank you for listening to Debrina Sports Talk on Should the NWSL Soccer Have an All-Star Game. See you in the next episode. Bye!